Hi everyone and welcome to today's reading. If you are already subscribed, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you like this reading, hit the like button or share. You're always welcome to leave a comment. A bit about me first. I am an intuitive reader. I use my own hand illustrated tarot and oracle decks. If you are interested in any of those, these are the ones we're using today. They can be found via the link in the description box. Generally what happens is I receive messages prior to the reading, and then in meditation I may get additional messages or additional songs. I discuss them with you and pull some cards to get clarification. All my readings are timeless, so if you have found this reading, it is meant for you, irrespective of whether you find it on the day it's posted or in 10 years' time. There is a message in this reading for you. So what I was hearing this morning whilst I was baking cookies was the first will be last and the last will be first. And it kept repeating over and over and over in my mind, and I couldn't get rid of it. So I knew that I had to do a reading and pull some cards on it. The other thing I was hearing was doing it from scratch. And yesterday, my daughter and I went and watched the second June movie. And when I left the cinema, I said to my daughter, I wish I had have gone and watched the first one again before I went and saw the second one, because I think there was information in the first one which would have made it clearer. I would have got better clarification in watching the second one yesterday. But going back to the first will be last and the last will be first. I've been doing lots and lots of readings this week with the focus on Pluto in Aquarius, which is the transit that's currently in our skies for the next 20 years. Now, Pluto is judgment. It's the judgment card in tarot. And as I said, I've been doing lots and lots of readings on Judgment Day. A big reading I posted yesterday was on Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, and their connection to the paintings on the wall of the Sistine Chapel, which Michelangelo did, and the final painting on the Sistine Chapel, which was the Final Judgment. There's lots and lots of references I'm finding at the moment that are coming up with this Judgment Day. The first will be last and the last will be first. So if you are finding yourself in a point in your life where you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you are working your butt off, going back to that, you're doing things from scratch. You have been building and building and building and building, and you're seeing all of these people race ahead. It's kind of got that feeling of the tortoise and the hare, race ahead, people climbing over the top of you to get further up the ladder. Then know that within the parameters of this energy that we're feeling at the moment, this judgment energy, if you are feeling like you are last, it is now the time where the last will be first. Those people who have taken advantage, done all the wrong things to get themselves ahead, are now under the judgment of God. Now, when I shuffle my cards prior to a reading, I always put on Gregorian chants. If you've not heard, you can just find there's heaps of playlists on Spotify with Gregorian chants, which are the monks of the Abbey of Notre Dame, I'm pretty sure. Gregorian chants, monks were chanting these chants, way back for centuries. Just find them really relaxing while I'm shuffling cards. They clear my head. But I always take notice of the cards that I always take notice of the songs that come out, because I always have my playlists on random shuffle. I get messages through music, and the three songs that came out while I was shuffling all my cards. The first one was, now they're in Latin and I will explain the meaning. The first one was Regina Mundi, which means Queen of the World, Mary Mother of God. The second one was Final Angelus Bells. Now these are the bells that are rung by Gabriel. Gabriel is the messenger of God and the messenger of goodwill. The angel that actually visited Mary and told her that she was going to have a son. And the third one was, now the pronunciation, Pa Pacem Domine, which is give peace, Lord. So in the context of what I was talking about, where the first will be last and the last will be first, going back to that judgment day and looking at those 3 songs that I got in my random shuffle, those 3 songs are talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ, or the Messiah. In that is the painting that I talked about, which is Michelangelo's painting on the Sistine Chapel, which is the Last Judgment, which again is Pluto in Aquarius, which is what's happening at the moment. Last Judgment, where Jesus, or the Messiah, or whatever you want to call him, or her, maybe a her this time, comes back and judges everybody for their behavior, for how they have treated other people. The first will be last and the last will be first. What have you been working on in your life that you have done from scratch? What have you been baking in your life? Me baking cookies this morning. What have you been baking in your life? And with reference to that June movie, going back and reviewing your life, going back and reviewing that first movie in order to get the information from the second. The other song I was getting was When They Ring Them Golden Bells, which is Natalie Merchant, which again is a song of judgment. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards. I think I might do some oracle cards first, actually. So this is my Divine Messages oracle deck. These are all channel messages. Struggling with personality patterns is the first one. Pop that there. Follow your gut. So I'm going to pull them all out first. I'll let you know what they are as I pull them out, but I'll pull them all out first and then we'll take a look at them. Good health, physical, mental and spiritual. And mountain, the view from the top. Overthinking, hidden in plain sight. So what I'm getting from these cards is oftentimes when we feel like we're left out, we're the last to get something, even though our approach has been physically, mentally, and spiritually sound, and we've been guided to act in that way, whether that's internal guidance or whether that's guidance from those people around you that have good morals and good values. It's often when we see mountain, the view from the top, it's often when we see that somebody has got to the top of the mountain before us, even though we've done all the right things, that you can get in your head, struggling with personality patterns. But what this message is telling you is you may feel like you are the tortoise, but the view from the top of the mountain for the tortoise is so much more valuable than it is from the hare, because the hare races through, destroys all the relationships along the way that they have, doesn't take anything in, doesn't learn any lessons aside from, I'm going to win, I'm going to get to the top of the mountain first. And so they miss the whole point. Well, and in that story, the tortoise actually wins. So let's pull some cards on it. And that is, that, and this one wanted to come out with it, that is that overthinking hidden in plain sight. Not being worried that somebody's actually getting there first, because what you don't actually realize is what you are receiving in the journey and in the view from the top of the mountain is actually of more value. And life purpose there, that's what you're meant to learn. And that's the judgment. If you think about, that thought of, that final judgment, I think about heaven and earth. When I pass away, am I going to heaven? What is heaven? What is hell? Well, heaven is knowing that you've lived your life in a manner that has been polite and respectful to the other people around you. You've been kind to others and you've been kind to yourself. Hell is actually treading on people and getting to the end where there is the final judgment, and coming to that realization that, and under here we've got lack of respect. Your lack of respect for other people means that, you aren't getting the blessing of heaven. You aren't getting the blessing of that final judgment being positive, because you've burnt all your bridges along the way. And that's where, the first will be last and the last will be first, because the value in life is not how much you have amassed, not how many cars you have, or how many, people you trod on to get there. It's actually not the value of life. The value of life is those connections that you make along the way. Yeah, interesting. Okay, struggling with personality patterns. Let's have a look. 7 of Wands. That's defensive. Perhaps you've been really defensive to people who or even, that jealousy and envy, even jealous of people that have got there first. But what you don't realize with this overthinking hidden in plain sight is that the value is in the journey, not the mountaintop view. But once you've done that journey and you are standing on the mountaintop, maybe that's when you learn the lesson. And that is the final judgment. Do you learn a lesson? Even if you get what you want, do you learn a lesson in it? So let's get these cards out. Follow your gut. Temperance, which is Sagittarius, also divine timing. And those two fish going round and round in circles, making sure, even, if we think of the salmon, following your gut, the salmon follows his gut in terms of swimming upstream. Everybody else is going the other way, but he follows his gut. Good health, spiritual and mental. 4 of Cups. Feeling like you are left out. Feeling like people have walked all over you. And the Hermit. And the bottom, we've got the Hanged Man. Okay, so the 7 of Wands is Mars in Leo. Then we've got Sagittarius here. The 4 of Cups is the Moon in Cancer. And then we've got the Virgo card. Okay, let's have a look. The Hangman. 6 of Wands, which is Jupiter and Leo. 3 of Wands, which is the Sun in Aries. Goodness. The Temperance card, which we've already got here, which is Sagittarius. The 4 of Swords, which is Jupiter and Libra. And on the bottom, the Page of Swords, which is Air. Okay, so if we look at the 7 and 6 of Wands, this is that struggling with personality patterns, feeling defensive, getting really angry because what did we say that was? Mars in Leo. Is that right? Mars, yeah. Mars in Leo, getting fired up, getting really, really angry because somebody else has gotten to the mountaintop before you. But the reality is that they've done that by stepping over other people. The first will be last and the last will be first. Following your gut and making the decision, like that little salmon, to do things your own way. Just because everybody's running fast to get somewhere doesn't mean that you have to. Following your gut and your own journey yourself with this 3 of Wands. And that is the Sun in Aries. So it is, being illuminated to the fact that your intuition, even though it's going to take you a long time, your intuition is telling you to swim the other way, not to race there, to actually put focus on good health, physical, mental, and spiritual, to treat the people around you with kindness and to treat yourself with kindness, even though it feels like with this Four of Cups, like you're missing out on something. The Temperance card here is a card of divine timing, which again is that the first will be last and the last will be first. And the tortoise knew that. Well, he didn't know that really, but he ended up winning the race because he took his time and he did things the proper way. And the Hermit is Virgo. Virgo, a lot of perfectionism, a lot of planning and patience, and it may feel like this with the Four of Swords here, that things aren't growing the way you want them to. But the Four of Swords is Jupiter in Libra. Now, Jupiter is expansive and Libra is balance. So, if you think, as I said before, of the hare who just races to the top, but doesn't take anything in on the journey because he's too busy stepping on everybody else to get there, as opposed to the tortoise who takes his time but absorbs everything in, all the little life lessons along the way, and then ends up being first. The tortoise's view from the mountaintop is far greater than the hare would ever experience. And that's why you shouldn't get defensive about it, because everybody's on their own journey. We've got the Justice card here. Again, Libra. The Justice is that within the energy, when you are watching this reading, if you are feeling like you've been walked all over, that other people who've done the wrong thing have gotten an outcome that you desired, even though you've done the right thing and gone about it the right way, judgment is coming, justice is coming for you and for them. Page of Cups, which is air and water. Get another one on that. Page of Cups. And we're just getting repeating messages. So we're getting the Six of Wands again here, which is expanding your mind and realizing that what is important is not getting there first, but is the lessons that you learn along the way. And a perfect example of that is babies who crawl and then walk very, very quickly after they've started crawling end up being quite unstable on their feet, as opposed to babies who crawl and spend a good 6 to 8 months crawling before they actually walk. They end up being more steady on their feet because that action of crawling develops muscles which gives them balance. Okay, let's have a look. Eight of Pentacles, the lessons that you learn along the way, the work that you've put in, everything you've absorbed. I've got the Knight of Wands, but he was upside down. So the Knight of Wands, is fast forward, speedy action, which is the reverse of what the tortoise is. Tortoise takes time and puts in the work on themselves, on their journey, even though with the Four of Cups there, they feel like they're not getting the outcome that they desire. They will get to the top of the mountain. And the Eight of Pentacles is the Sun in Virgo. So we said here the Hermit card is the card of Virgo, the card of patience and planning. And the Sun will illuminate that patience and planning. Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is the Moon in Libra. Not recognizing if you're stuck in these personality patterns, you're not recognizing that the moon there, things that are hidden, Libra is balance, that the balance is actually hidden because the judgment comes and it's the person that arrives balanced and spiritually sound that will actually get the justice in the end. Interesting. Chariot, which is Cancer. That judgment is coming and things will be balanced out. Okay, we're going to look at what angel is working with you at the moment. Just going to get 4. Fortune, fame, and new ventures, 22. So new beginnings. On the bottom, we've got harmony and occult wisdom. Maybe you've had an inkling that this justice is coming. 28, health and longevity. 68, healing. And 70, it's a spiritual journey. The idea is not to get to the destination the quickest. That's not what you're being judged on, how fast you get there. You're being judged on what you learn along the way and who you are at the end of the journey. Okay, these are love messages cards. Ooh. Now, I'm just going to take them because that was meant to happen. These are love messages cards, but I'm taking it today as messages from your 5D self. Opposites attract. That for me is the opposites of the tortoise and the hare. One goes fast, one goes slow. The first will be the last and the last will be the first. Those opposites. Recognizing that getting there quickly isn't what the journey's about. Taking the first step, which is what the tortoise did. Taking the first step, even though you feel like you're the underdog, even though you feel like you're the last. Taking the first step, because we've even got the word first in there, because the first will be the last and the last will be the first. I'm feeling vulnerable. That word, I'm feeling vulnerable. Letting go of fears and just focusing on the journey. Because at the end of it, wishes will come true. That judgment will come down on those who have stepped on everybody else in order to get somewhere, and they will be the last. And temptation, not being led by temptation to take shortcuts. Now, finally, I'm going to do some Scrabble tiles. It may be your first, middle, last initial. It may be that of the person that you are dealing with. It could be anything else. If there's not messages in here for you, that's okay. If you've taken something else from the reading, just take what resonates. I'm going to give it a shake. Okay, we have got J and an 8, F and a 4, T and a 1, a B and a 3, an R and a 1. Just thought that Bigfoot came into my mind. I don't know where that came from. Bigfoot. X and an 8, an N. I'm hearing the word Nelly. P and a 3, a V and a 4, a Y and a 4, a G and a 2, and a H and a 4. We got no vowels in there. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it for you today. I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I will be loading readings regularly. If you are interested in any of my Pluto and Aquarius videos, they can be found in the Pluto and Aquarius playlist. Obviously, they have relevance to the theme of this reading, which is judgment. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you again in another reading.